fellow Toastmasters and guests. To the citizens of the United States, from Her Majesty, Elizabeth II. In light of your immediate failure to financially manage yourselves, and therefore properly govern, I hereby give notice of the revocation of your independence, effective immediately. You should look up the word revocation. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth will provide monarchical duties over all states, commonwealth, and territories. Your new Prime Minister will appoint a governor for America. Congress and the Senate will be disbanded. A questionnaire will be circulated sometime next year to see if anyone noticed. To aid in the transition to a crown dependency, the following rules will be introduced immediately. The letter U will be reinstated in such words as color, labor, favor, and neighbor. Likewise, you will learn to spell donut without skipping half the letters. The suffix IZE, properly pronounced IZE, will be replaced by ISE. Generally, you will be expected to raise your vocabulary to acceptable levels. Using the same 27 words, interspersed with filler noises such as like, you know, are unacceptable and inefficient forms of communications. We grammarians would agree with that, we Toastmasters. Generally, you will be expected to raise your vocabulary to expected levels. There is no such thing as US English. We will alert Microsoft to that effect. The Microsoft spell checker will be adjusted accordingly. July 4th will no longer be celebrated as a holiday. Get used to it. You will learn to resolve personal issues without using guns, lawyers, and therapists. The fact that you need so many lawyers and therapists shows you're not ready to be independent and govern yourselves. Guns should only be used to shoot grouse. If you can't sort things out without talking to someone or suing someone, you are not ready to shoot grouse. Therefore, you will not be allowed to carry anything in public more dangerous than a vegetable peeler. And for that, a permit will be required. All intersections and roundabouts will be replaced. You will start driving on the left, starting immediately. You will also go metric. Roundabouts and metrification will help you understand the British sense of humor. H-U-M-O-U-R. The former US will adopt UK prices, $10 a gallon for petrol, which you have been calling gasoline, and at times gas. How utterly appalling. You will learn to make real chips. Those things you call French fries are not real chips, and they're not even French. Real chips are fried in animal fat and dressed not with ketchup, but with vinegar. The cold, tasteless stuff you call beer is not beer at all. Henceforth, only proper British bitter. And speaking of British bitter, you remember the nursery rhyme, Betty bought a bit of butter, but she found the butter bitter. So she bought a bit of better butter to make the bitter butter better. But back to the beer. proper British bitter will be referred to as beer. European brews of known and accepted provenance will be called lager. New Zealand beer is accepted because pound for pound, New Zealand is the greatest nation on earth. It could only be due to the beer. You will cease playing American football. There are only two kinds of football: soccer and rugby, dominated by the New Zealanders. Those of you brave enough to play football will in time be allowed to do so. Football has some similarities, or you will be allowed to play rugby. Football has some similarities to that, but does not involve stopping every 4 hours, every 20 seconds, I should say, that's what Her Majesty says, or wearing full Kevlar body armor, like a bunch of sissies. You will stop playing baseball. It is not reasonable to host an event called the World Series, which is not played outside of the USA. Now, since only 2.1% of you are aware that the world does not stop here, your error is understandable. You will learn cricket. And we will let you face the Australians, world dominators. An internal revenue agent, that is a tax collector from Her Majesty government, will shortly be here to ensure the acquisition of monies dated back to 1776. Most importantly, tea time begins promptly at 4 p.m. with proper cups. Never mugs. With quality biscuits, which you call cookies, plus strawberries and cream, when in season. Thank you, John Cleese, and thank you, Toastmasters, you've been good sports. God save the Queen.